Hey everybody, it's time for Chemistry 10.4 in a nutshell. Just like last time, watch this video 2 times. The first time you can play it all the way through. The second time, make sure you're hitting that pause button a lot to follow along, copy down some notes, try out these problems yourself, type those numbers into your calculator to make sure you're going to have good calculator skills for your test, and then press play again so you can check your work. So 10.4 in a nutshell here, percent composition of molecular formulas. Notice this is page 341 to 344 in your book. 10.4 is longer, but we're skipping the second half of the section, so don't bother reading past page 344. I will not test you on that material. Shorten this section up a little bit since we're doing online learning and made it a little bit simpler. But do read those pages in your textbook before attempting your homework. So the question that comes up in this section is, how do we represent the composition of a compound? And the answer is by mass. So percent by mass is what we're going to be calculating in this section. It's also called percent composition in your book. They're pretty much the same thing. I'll point out at the end why they're slightly different terms. But if they ask you for either of these in your homework, you're using this formula. Take the mass of the element found on the periodic table divided by the molar mass of a compound. Remember, we calculated molar masses in section 3, so you should be pros at that by this point. Also at the end, you need to multiply by 100, and that converts to percent. So we're finding percent composition in this section, so we need to multiply by 100 at the end. So here's the first problem. If it's your second time through the video, go ahead and pause and copy these notes and this first problem down and try it out. If it's not your first time watching this video, or if it is your first time watching this video, let's continue. Where'd the marker go? Oh, there it is. So notice I didn't tell you what magnesium nitrate is. You guys are all great at naming at this point. So magnesium is Mg, nitrate is NO3. NO3 is -1, but magnesium is +2. So dance it down. We need 2 nitrates at -1 to balance the +2 on magnesium. You need to calculate the molar mass as indicated in the formula, so let's go ahead and do that now. So I went ahead and calculated the molar mass of magnesium nitrate, and remember the numbers come from your periodic table. There's 2 nitrogens, so double that number, 6 oxygens, so double that number, and add it all up together, 148.313 grams per mole for magnesium nitrate. So let's calculate percent magnesium, percent nitrogen, and percent oxygen. So percent magnesium, we need to put the molar mass of magnesium in the top of our fraction. So that's 24.305 grams. And we need to divide out by the molar mass of the compound, which we just calculated, 148.313 grams. And don't forget at the end to multiply by 100. And that gives us 16.388%. I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you pause the video at this point and try the rest of these problems. If you didn't get them right the first time, try nitrogen and oxygen. And unpause. Here are the answers so you can check your work. I'm going to point out a couple of patterns that we see. Notice that every time we're calculating the percent composition of an element, we are using the exact same denominator. That's because that element we're considering in 1 molecule of magnesium nitrate. So we're always going to consider that as the molar mass of the compound on bottom. But notice the numbers on top are different because we have different elements that we're calculating. So this is how you represent the composition of a compound. Every time, don't forget to multiply by 100 to put it in percent form. And notice at the end, your percent should add up to 100. So that's a good way to check your work as you're working on your homework. I have one more example problem for you. And here it is. So pause the video and try this out. And here's the answer. So pause the video and check your work. Get homework 10.4 done. You guys got this.